Testing, testing. Okay, we're having some issues with audio, but now it's fixed. I will be playing some background music again, some SaGa jazz. I guess it's okay because it never flags me out. So let me do it. Welcome you all for another live stream for Monthly SaGa Universe. Another banner talk. We'll be discussing Joe's banner. Big banner that was expected. She is yet another showcase of power creep in this game, and also a character that can attack multiple times with different elements. It's complicated to say at least, but works with many different squads. So I can see many people are here. Permanent Bennett, Miku, Sta, Sluk, Michelle, Aikia, Kreslord, Capivara, also Apple Gun, Emerald Mara, and Rainstorm. Welcome you all for another live stream. Let me just fix the chat box so that it does not get in the way. Properties. I was having a lunch, man, but my lunch, when you have to cook stuff, it takes much more time, right? Much more time. Can increase a little. And the dog here of the neighbor is just getting crazy. Can't stop barking. Can't stop barking. How hard it is to say shut down a little. Okay, we have the chat box now. Fix it. Can you guys hear the barking? You are hearing weird audio noise. Maybe that's what's happening. That's the dog barking, and then the filter tries to remove the barking, and it's barking way too loudly. If Cher was a VTuber, what model would you have? Lobster? Never. I'll never be a VTuber. I don't support that. I don't like it. I have the reason to not like it, but I don't support as well. You're getting 2D attached to stuff. But if it's just for play, let's say that a hero or a lobster can only be here for 6 minutes. 6 minutes! So that's absolute OP, Mumu. Welcome, thanks for coming, and this is, banner that will be receiving a gold award. You know, even with 3 units, yes, all of them are good. It's complicated, but we already expected it. And even buffed in a little. We were expecting some status buffs at least, but they did some other stuff as well. 6 minutes is a tight schedule, yeah. If they increase Joe endurance in a brutal manner. It's because they don't release any units with less than 100 endurance now. They don't. They always fix the units that have less than 80. And the reason for that is probably because they do change a little bit of boss status in global. That's what I believe. Also, let me see if the... I'm playing a soundtrack in the back. Is the volume okay? I usually increase a few... And the dog's barking is really getting intense. You don't see any noise? Look. Signet7 is also saying, eating Jack in a Box now. What is it? Is it a brand? Explain to me. Builder is also here. Ask Wayne. Look at Joe endurance. Yeah, moving from 84 to 112 is a big step. They just made her with same endurance. I have to say that I don't really like that all that much. Now some characters are losing their individuality. They all look the same status-wise. But Joe has now 141% intelligence, highest than we ever saw. We had 140 status for Kihachi, some other damage dealers, and now breaking through the 140. Let me see if someone said something. Stream speed run 6 minutes would world record. Well, this better fast units will be probably Joe, and then second one will be Real Queen, and third one will be Bertrand. But I have to check everything here with you guys. Look at Bertrand buffs. The guy had 79 endurance, 87 will. They buffed it to 112. I feel like this is too much. You're getting all 3. I'll try to get all 3 as well. I have all Bertrand styles. I want to use him again. So that will fix the problem, right? Real Queen is the best debuffer for single targets. Really good one. She doesn't really help for dexterity though. If I ever need dexterity debuff all the way, I will just use my Aisha. Where I'm banning the older banner. Yeah, no need to pull on that one. Sagnet7 says it's a fast food brand like McDonald's, but real food. Oh yeah, that's cool. And so you do it for lunch. Dominate Blaze Plus is her strongest chains. Yeah, it's strange that she has Dominant Blaze Plus, something that we had with Bertrand in the past, right? Probably not really necessary for the endurance buff since we have solid buffers. But the thing is, sometimes the enemy will buff break us on start of turn or things like that. And I was also doing Remembrance fight with M-Arts, and a little lower endurance with Al Kaiser was making him suffer so much in the fight, but so much. Everyone that was here back then can test for. She debuffs Dex, she doesn't debuff agility, but she doesn't debuff as much as the others, right? Real Queen. Look, turn begins, SGR, and intelligence debuff to one random enemy. He does debuff dexterity on top, but it may not be enough. And here, this attack is also SGR and intelligence debuff. He has to help us clear challenges sooner. Maybe. Dominant Blaze Plus will be a step of recovery. She deals damage, she heals, she does everything. Let me heat up some water to make coffee and wait a little more for more people to join. 40 people will be a very good number to start. I know that Joe is hype. Let me make some coffee now. Okay, I am back. Whoa, actually the number decreased. Now we have only 32 people. And so let's start off, right? Now only 28. What happened? I only left for 2 minutes. But okay, snack time, yes. Sammy says this would have been anniversary banners. It would have called for more attention, indeed. Shame that they skipped Christmas any banner. They did as well. But better off going with Joe right now and, I don't know, waiting for a moment to drop strange banners altogether. Okay, so let's start with Joe here. Joe, like we just saw, had buffs to her endurance now, reaching 112%. There is another reason for this as well. It's because she does not have the rousing bound effect on her anymore. If you check her past style, the one that we still use sometimes, rousing bound was such a very good effect. It was based on using Flame Force to have it effect on everyone. Look, Flame Force applies rousing bound to, let's see, you're in another surviving alliance being attacked, grants oneself an attack boost and defense boost. This is applied to all other surviving allies. So when it's an AoE attack, it will always trigger. But now if it's a single target attack and it's on Joe, it won't trigger anymore. But Joe is pretty good defensively. You can see it through her large defense up. Every turn, 15% defense up, as you can see here. I feel like this is the only way to decrease damage taken to her, right? Looks like. So she will be a little less protected on start of the fights. If you use Flame Force right on start to give effects for everyone and then start attacking later, well, this still gives her a 20% heat up. Now back to the character itself. They give her another overdrive attack damage increase. There is 30% at all times, then 50% on weak attacks. That means 80, right? 80%. And then OG attack, another 50. Spell attack, another 50. So how much just from this? Well, we'll be using her for weak attack and spell attack. OG is not all the time. We have at least 130 and then 180 on overdrive. Battle begins with 11 BP and she has damage block for 3 turns. Yeah, so 3 turns of no damage. On turn 4 she already has how much? Well, it's actually 3 turns of damage block, so on turn 4 she already has 4 stacks of 15 minus damage. Yeah, she's really good, man. 3 turns of no damage reminds me of Apollo. Okay, then damage block for 3 turns. She also has heat ups, 20% for another 100%. So 280% max, right? Enioflux, welcome. Checking on Joe here. Okay, now that we know how much passive she has, it's a lot complicated to understand what she does when attacking. It's a lot of different attacks. Look, if you land a heat and weak attack, you're going to activate a chase. If you land a cold and weak attack, you will activate Spectacle Portal. The thing is, you can use an attack that is both cold, heat, and lands weak, and that will trigger both. But the shadow part doesn't happen all the time. You have to use her new skills for that. If you use a shadow attack and it lands weak, you will activate Dominant Blaze. So you can make some combinations. You can make a combination where you activate the heat and the shadow attack, the cold and the shadow attack, or the heat and cold attack. 3 different scenarios here. Michelle says the best strategy is to use a fire and shadow that calls weak to enemies. Not really. It will depend. She is a very competent damage dealer that can choose different elements. She has 3 different elements, and depending on what you want to do, you can choose some inheritances as well. But she actually prefers to always use skill 2 or skill 3 that has heat and shadow or cold and shadow. In the case of cold and shadow, you're going to trigger the Spectacle Portal and then the Dominant Blaze. In the case of using heat and shadow, you're going to activate Dark Burn and Dominant Blaze. Wait a sec. Now, they also did a change to her. Says OG or weak attack, she now can activate Checkmate. So that guarantees that even without overdrive, She will always chase with checkmate as well. That means 3 chases so far, right? 3 chases will happen no matter what. Then we have even older chases if they are on overdrive. Split Blaze and Odd Circle. And then Twilight Fall. The thing here is, you're going to get 2 extra chases on OG, depending on the skill that you are using. We have the main command, then we have the guarantee. Well, if you are landing a weak attack, we will be using weak attacks. I don't know, people will be using her for non-weak, unless they are doing, I don't know, serious challenges. 1 chase guaranteed, then the second chase guaranteed, the third chase guaranteed, and then another 2. So up to 5 chase attacks with Joe. Now, you're going to use one of those 2 attacks that makes up for 6 attacks. It is based on the type of damage you want to do. If you want to do Heat and Shadow, you use one. If you want to do Cold and Shadow, you use the another. So she covers for 3 elemental types, and there's still extra force. This will apply a 50% damage increase for all attacks. The thing is, this lasts for 2 turns. That's even more broken than it looks, because you can use it again and double the damage. And if you apply a weak, small extra force to the enemy, I don't even remember how much that actually makes. Let me check, Joe. How will her chase work if she uses the skill that paralyzes her? Which skill you're talking about? Ah, the inheritance one. Why would you use that? Man, this dog is crazy. Here, it says weak 0.25 on the enemy, and then, okay, so theoretically, you're going to amplify your damage by 75%, and then up to 150%. You're gonna double, more than double the damage. If you got Rock Bouquet and used her, you already know how it works. Skill number 3. It amplifies damage by quite a big margin. And Joe can do that in less for 2 turns. That's how she breaks Rock Bouquet damage easily. Of course, Rock Bouquet is Shadow in Lightning. Joe is Shadow in Heat, Shadow in Cold, and a lot of other stuff. Capybara, I believe that's not your question. In the case of that skill, it's random. When you have too many chase attacks, it just happens that the game will choose a different order for each chase. If she decides to use the paralyzed chase first, then you won't be able to do the other chases. Maybe you can check with Flame Force Joe with the skill inherited. Yeah, it already works that way. You can give her extra turn damage protection from her passive skill. Yes, but it doesn't work for her. If she gets hit, it doesn't work. Rousing Bound is applied to all other surviving allies. So when they get hit, you get your defense boost. For a single target, it makes a difference. For AoE, it does not make any difference. You won't want to use Flame Force no matter what. Welcome, Darth Devils and Doug. How are you doing? Is this the Bertrand banner too? Yes, the same banner, Joe, Bertrand, and Rio Queen. Nameless is here to say I don't like Enya. Enya? What are you talking about? So Joe benefits from teammates that increases heat and shadow damage as well. Yes, but I have to say that on those case scenarios, these characters will benefit more from status buff. If the fight allows you to buff status for Joe, that will improve your damage further, unless you are using stuff like weak point. The stuff that you have for example, New ScherBR. New ScherBR has weak point for Cold. And if you want to use her Cold setup, it's gonna work. If you want to use her together with Rock, it's gonna work. And other types of elemental boosters won't help as much. You are better off bringing status buffers. For example, if you have the buffer version of Matriarch, her damage will scale super fast as well. Because she already has ways to improve her damage via those damage boosters. It is better to improve her status. She does not buff status. If the fight allows for. If it doesn't, then you're gonna have to use what you have to improve. Doug said too far. Nameless is what? Forcing the friendship. I'm guessing amplify, remove, paralyze. Amplify? Will they allow us to amplify? That skill? What is the name of that skill again? Sparkling Ice, right? But the global version has the paralyze. It was charge. When they amplified on JP, reduced the count to 1. That's interesting. Still, you don't want to use this skill, because you are overestimating the damage increase from the... what's the name of it again? Extra Force. This Extra Force effect is broken, so you have to use this. It will improve the damage of all of her chases. But overall, like we saw, she's going to chase 3 times every time. On Overdrive, she gets 2 extra chases. So, either 4 attacks or 6 attacks. Damage is probably the best type we will have for a while. Extra Force independent multiplier, isn't it? Doesn't matter what the buff she has. Yes, it's just like a Rock Bouquet that improves final damage output. It's much better than any type of attack boost you're gonna get. But it also makes it so that on attack boost there was like, you know, 20%. It actually has 50% more value because you are going to add the extra force by the end of the calculation. What was I going to do? Oh, check Rock. Rock has it in her skill tree. She does not chase as much, but you can see that it's the same. Medium. Hers is for 1 turn. The next spinner already kinda outclasses or power creep stuff. But okay, Rock Bouquet has to use it for... which element? For lightning. But she already has weak marker, so it's still different, man. Joe has the best setup because both of her effects last for 2 turns, so you stack even higher. If you want to use this skill one after another, damage is going to scale like crazy. And using the inheritance that Capivara said really does not help at all. Crimson Break does not paralyze. Sparkling Ice paralyzes. Ah. But Crimson Break is Sparkling Ice, no? In JP. They have different names. Yeah. It's the same skill. Okay, and then the next Joe, I don't know what exactly she benefits from. If she benefits from the damage skills or whatever. Yeah, I don't know how to use this summer style because I didn't check much about her. But the Shadow Damage Dealer Joe is still unique. She will be a Shadow Damage Dealer while this one is back to Cold and Heat. Okay, just talking about this character. She blocks damage for 3 turns. Now she has better endurance to... when she finally receives damage, it won't be that high. She loses the Flame Force effect on herself, but it will be on others. She does not like to be on the tank position, but you can if you just want to negate damage for 3 turns. But that's a lot of damage, guys. This is probably the strongest damage type you'll see in the game if you can keep using her skill 2 or 3 every single turn. And if you don't have BP batteries, you can see that they made this first skill even better. It was on OG, on weak attack lands, you were getting 5 BP, but now OG as well. Well, it's just to make it easier if you are using her for neutral, but I don't think many people will use. But remember that sometimes we use Kihachi and Madeline on enemies that are not weak to lightning. Well, of course, that was made for this. Depending on the combo setup that you are using, for example, she can also be used with 4 news for cold. I don't think we have a very strong heat leader, but Shadow makes it suddenly more viable again. I just think we need a better heat leader. I think the best one is Emerald. Emerald helps. Firebringer is okay, but not really all that good. Crimson Break is what is activated after Sparkling Ice, but it doesn't matter. You don't want that skill. Yes, because one comes first, the other comes second, but the chase will still paralyze her. She loses too many chases on 1 week. Yeah. She then becomes more about OG, right? On OG, she has some guaranteed chases. That doesn't matter. Oh, wait. I was wrong about something here. I said that she has 3 chases, right? And then she will have another 2 from Overdrive. But actually, no. It's more. No. Sorry. I was right. Has to be Heat and OG. It's like the first Kihachi. Sorry. Yeah, it's 3 chases and then 2 extra chases. With the main command, 6 attacks for free. Don't lose LP. What's Leon these days, right? All of these attacks are super strong. We should also check out here on JP. All of these attacks of triple S power, 3 hits. Look, Burning Dark is already double S power, and it grants Guard down, weakened defense. Oh, and then we have a Spectacular. This is Spectacle Gate, right? 3 hits, double elemental. This one is a triple S with high power, heals. Checkmate is just triple S damage, nothing crazy. Split Blaze is between 2 to 3. This is the attack that ScherBR has. It recovers HP of all allied survivors. She can even use it as a healer somehow. Not the main one though. Odd Circle, that gives attack and defense boost. You have to choose between either Split Blaze or Odd Circle. Those are the ones that will give you more. Because Odd Circle gives defense boost. This will usually be better. But this one needs Overdrive. If you are using her own Remembrance, I would prefer to go for the Cold Road. Because that will give you attack and defense boost. Split Blaze is okay, but it recovers HP and will not be your main recover anyway. Let me move a little here. And Twilight Down will always trigger because it's Shadow, and this one is... This is in global, he recovers HP, right? Twilight Fall? Or not? No. This is the counter from one of the versions of Bertrand, right? It's the IQ version. Ah, yeah, sorry. These names are all similar. Twilight Fall. Yeah. The instant Q is a global exclusive. Unless they improve Sparkling Ice in global, taking out the paralysis effect. By the way, developers haven't added a Shadow and Fire Staff to be able to improve it to the triple S level. They have not. But it doesn't really matter. Look, she only uses heat and cold spells. Michelle, what are you talking about? One of her chases have main Shadow. Twilight Dawn is heat. Hot Circle is heat. Split Blaze, heat. Checkmate, cold. What are you talking about? Burning Dark, heat. Spectacular Gate, cold. Dominant Blaze, her version is heat. Ah, you need a dark skill, but her second and third skills have dark. It attack that includes the elemental. If the skill has double element, that's why she triggers so many chases. So we're talking about, like I said, gold material. She is a 5 out of 5 because of breaking through the new boundaries of damage. 3 different elemental types, covers a lot of ground. With her Flame Force inheritance becomes even better. 3 turns of damage block. High damage output. Doesn't take too much to be super strong. The heat up effect is not what really makes her strong. She already comes with a lot of damage, even from start. Well, the hype is real. How the weapon add bonuses to the skill if the weapon has 2 different elements? You have to check this element here, the main element. For example, Burning Dark is fire. Doesn't matter if it does 2 different elements of damage. If you bring a fire weapon, it will do full. That's what makes sense. So she does not need anything besides her main weapon. A 5 out of 5, of course, like I said, a very strong character, and you have to see the full damage. There's nothing compared to this right now. I feel like only Kihachi with the damage boosters and all. And I don't know. Who else compares in damage? Who would you say, Neoflux? Chaos Piper, Luck? Follow Marco only see she recover BP when attacking. That would be perfect. Yeah, that's the problem, right? She only gets 3 BP by the end of a turn. She's a 6 BP per turn character. To reach 11, she needs extra help. She will need another 5. Another 5 BP per turn. But we'll get other types of elemental specialists that will give more BP. We were getting 3 BPs when using, for example, Shadow. Because of Saruin, for example. And then you're gonna need only other 2. The good thing is that even if you cannot use skill 2 or 3, skill 1 is still code based and it will trigger a lot of changes on the way. She does lack up BP a bit, Saruin helps. Yeah, it's not the same problem as Kazinsi. Kazinsi has a much bigger problem to have enough BP. But like we got with Dentarg, we're gonna get other elemental leaders. Like Dentarg helps blunt squads, we'll get other characters as well. And she will choose... I know that Fire will start already having even more effects with SaGa Frontier 2 already. Let me check SaGa Frontier 2. SaGa Frontier 2 banner. This wheel here. Grant all allied survivors plus 1 BP when attacking with heat. But look, there's no limit. So all heat attacks will generate another BP. She can use, I think, up to 4. So he already helps. He also gives heat attack boost to the party, right? This is for party. Yeah. Also benefits heat defense boost when attacking with heat attacks. So there are characters that will appear that will give some type of effects when using heat attacks and all. Many characters actually. This is some of the new meta on JP. He's on the Gustav banner probably next week. Yeah, he already helps her as well. At least her BP is a little better on global for hitting just fire weaknesses with the S1 change. Ah, yeah, because if you don't have enough BP, you can still recover BP by use on overdrive, right? Even if it's not landing weak. That's cool. So, I feel like we discussed Joe enough. She's a must-have. One of the meta units in the game. Even when you stop using her, she can still work. No way SaGa Frontier 2 is next week. No one will have Jane after Joe Banner. They may release Christmas Xenia then, but it may still happen, friend. Who knows? Good afternoon, Thunderwells. Hope I can get Joe and Real Queen. Me too. So Bertrand was heavily changed. Look, 79% endurance and 87 was prohibitive. 112 is a little higher than the normal average of 100 now. SaGa Frontier 2, then SaGa Emerald Beyond afterwards, to obliterate everyone gens. They may still give us a week before that. If they do give us a week, they'll, I don't know, time warp some SaGa Soul banner or something. We can check here. I don't think they would switch this SaGa Soul banner because it was released alongside the free styles of Emerald Beyond. It's the end of the SaGa Frontier 2 celebration. I don't know, man. I really believe that they are going to release SaGa Frontier 2 stuff. Next week, even. Next week will either be SaGa Frontier 2 or Time Warped Mirrors or School. I don't think so. They will probably push Flame General banner as Remembrance bait next week. Probably also with Mirza. Could be as well, if they want to give us a slow week. I like the stuff, but I have some for... You have some for Creator and Outdoor, and then Mirza. 2 different banners, huh? SaGa Run Beyond is not after SaGa Frontier 2, it's just the free characters. Yeah, you're right, just the free characters. That's right. Free styles. And then after the end of SaGa Frontier 2, there's still the School banner. And after School banner, Mirza, Darke, and then after that, SaGa Run Beyond. We still have to wait 1 month, I guess. That makes more sense, right? Those 3 styles are pretty darn good. They are. It's SaGa Frontier 2, then School, and then Tyler with Dark Banner, and then SaGa Run Beyond, says Apple, and that you were right. Now let's talk about Bertrand, huh? He's a hybrid, so SGR and intelligence are not that high, 124% only. But he does have good offenses, anyway, because of other stuff. He self-buffs a lot. This guy starts with 13 BP because of the skill tree. And, look. Charge up skill 1 time. When you attack with skill, then, you're gonna get enhanced arts. It's hard to comprehend all of this because, man, these units now have such a long description for their passives. Let me go back here to Joe. I think they will break the system already. When you are leveling up a character to level 50, you can already see that the text is just the max size. Something will happen with Global because on JP they use less characters. Energy skill. Grant all allied survivors energy arts. Doing magical attacks, grant an element enhanced sorcery. This is a buff to spell-based attacks. Then, defense up. Then, ability boost. They will all be getting 5% status. This triggers only once because as soon as you use something, you're gonna get all of the effects. Bertrand himself has both skills and spells. So he's going to take all advantage of triggering all the enhanced arts, defense up twice, then the ability enhance, and the healing waves. What is the healing waves? It doesn't even show. Can click. Oh my, but that should be something related to healing, right? Just use skill tree and you apply. Yeah, with him you just use skill tree and you apply it everything. But he grants this energy skill and energy arts to all allied survivors. And if they do have skills and spells, they will also trigger twice. If they are all physical or all magical, they will only trigger once. Actually, magical can kind of break, no? A normal attack with bonk is physical, no? That part of the ability doesn't have the disclaimer. They don't activate on chases. Someone told me that it does not activate on chases as well. That's a good thing. But the effects. When they use a skill attack, they will buff Enhanced Arts the first time appearing in the game. It improves skill damage, and then a 10% defense up to all allies. And then the other one will be healing energies to self. But I'm not getting it well. Are you saying that every character of the party can trigger a defense up to everyone? Like 5 defense ups? Is that right? Friends, tell me that, because it's confusing. Because he's going to apply this one time for everyone. Everyone can use skills or spells and will trigger the effects. So if I use a skill, I will trigger the skill part. That gives the enhanced arts, medium, and defense up to all allies. Yeah, please don't forget to click the like button. Certainly helps. If you also want to support the channel via donations, use the link here on top, and you can send a message that will appear here, and will help keep the channel running. But if you can't, don't worry, just click the like. Yes, I'm great for hybrid carrots, but I really don't know this too much. It's complicated. All this part here looks like it triggers once with each of your characters. Anyone that knows how he works can tell? Yeah, you can get up to 10 defense buffs for the whole part. Broken. Well, it's at least 6, right? It's at least 6 because he himself gives 2. And then spellcasters can use bonk. And then all buffs that will happen here will also apply every single trigger. So up to 10 buffs, 10 5% buffs, right? That leads to 50% buff total. And max, of course. For all status besides... No, wait. The power boost is can trigger 5 times, and the other power boost can trigger 5 times. So 25% buff for each. He only triggers 1 time per person. But yeah, 1 time per person, the skill version and the spell version. But what I'm saying is that if you have a spellcaster, you can use a bonk and trick the game. It's 10%, it's a lot, right? I was talking about the status buff, power boost. The defense up is 10%, that I know. 6 potentially, but if you were using a spell, Sammy. Look, to explain this, I have to show you something inside the game. But bonks, normal attacks, are considered skills. So if you use a spellcaster in your team, like Joe, use a normal attack 1 turn with Joe and she's going to trigger the effect. Hey Wit, welcome, how are you doing? Let's open the game. If you have a staff, you use earth spells. No, you are doing the physical damage, but you're not using a skill. It's different. There's a lot to talk about. It's hard to follow. Yeah. Also, Pika for you. Hello, everyone. Thanks for the overview you share. No worries, Pika. Sorry, I only saw now. There's a lot of messages and sometimes I get lost. So when you go into the menu, if I'm not mistaken, look in the character list and use SaGa Spellcaster. It's also going to work super well with Shaw. Shaw is going to trigger twice. Spell-based character. Remember that Shira uses skills, not spells. Sarun you also trigger twice. Yeah, all mages can use skills, only spellcasters can use spells though. Indeed. Key. Staff is a skill. See? So they can trigger twice. Pretty crazy character, huh? Imagine getting 10 defense ups just from 2 turns. Let me remove the game again and go back to the browser. So there's way too many buffs. Let's say that you trigger the skill part, you're gonna get this element enhanced arts. I just don't know how much that value is. Skill medium. Oops. 10%. Ah, okay. 10% improvement to skill damage. Then all characters to get a 5% SGR endurance and dexterity buff. On turn begins. Healing energy to self. I don't know what healing energy means. Not even JP says. Healing waves. What is it? You attack and you self-heal? With skills? Sliding can use spells and chains with skills. Yeah. Vagnus. A lot of good characters can trigger both. Leon can also trigger both. Yeah. Archie. Very small heal on the end of turn. You're saying that you can get 5 out of that? 6 at least? You're telling me that he becomes a potent healer as well? High chance, small, very small effect. High chance, 37% chance, right? It's not a guarantee. Even then. If you use a spell, you improve 10% of spell damage, 10% defense up. Then they will buff agility, intelligence, and will. Wearing Wave. What is Wearing Wave 1? When they attack, they self-buff. This is new. This is new. Skill attack lands. STR endurance and dexterity buff. 15%? Turn ends, HP recover very small to all allies. Activates Nocturnal Chase. What does that activate Nocturnal Chase means? Is this a guaranteed chase? It's like a million indeed. Same thing, OG instead of heal. Turn ends, OG feel. Very small on turn to allies. What is a very small OG feel? 5 points? I feel like he's explaining power boost 1 here, right? Power boost up to this point. But what means activates Nocturnal Shades? Because power boost is for everyone. It's a passive. End of turn recovers also surviving alliance. Hi, okay. Wearing Waves is also a passive. End of turn increases all surviving alliance OG Guard. High chance. High chance, but I'm not seeing high chance here. See? Turn ends, HP recover very small to all. Doesn't say chance. He always chases with Nocturnal Chase, right? And if he uses a spell, he chases with Flame Onyx. That's what I got from JP. Skills, chase with Nocturnal. And spells, chase with Flame Onyx. Hello, Thiago Travi, welcome. Skill, attack lands, is a different part of the passive. It's not Wearing Wave. Okay, so there's no Wearing Wave here. We are only seeing the second part of the passive. Wearing Wave to self. Okay. Well, so this buff here is just to self, right? When he's attacking with skills. It's not related to the charge up skill or charge up spell. This is related to self. We're back. What did you miss on this glorious gold banner? That all of them are broken. Wearing Wave is part of charge up spell one time. But activates Nocturnal Chains is not, right? Because this is something related to himself. Turn begins, +2, so he's a 5 VP per turn character. Oh, he does have a lot of problems with BP. Attack boost, heat up, even heat up. Why? All 5 of 5? Bertrand is as well. I don't know about Real Queen yet. I'll go there. How are you doing, Thiago Travi? Are you going to play Sword of Convalaria? It's releasing today. Oh my. The only problem with this guy is the BP generation. But the amount of stuff that he gives, it's broken. 10% defense ups, how much that means? But let's say theoretically at least 6, right? I'm gonna do 2 tables here. If I'm going to play Sword of Convalaria, I'm not so sure. If there's hype, I may play it before I go to sleep. What would you guys say? All 3 are meta as far as I'm concerned. They are. I'm doing a calculation here, guys, to see how much damage mitigation we have just from Bertrand alone in best case scenario, and 1 in normal case scenario. So he mitigates 47% of the damage with 6 defense ups, or as much as 65% if he gets to 10 defense ups. And I have to leave. Oh, sorry, Cappy, but I'll see you later then. Tomorrow I'll be live as well. Convalaria tonight, Joe Banner and SaGa tomorrow. I'm in the middle of moving, so busy. You're gonna play Convalaria as well? Or that game's like Final Fantasy Tactics, Sword of Convalaria? It is, but with gacha and non-gacha gameplay. I'll give it a try. You have it downloaded? Oh, so many people are saying that they have it downloaded. I may actually play it by night. I'll play it by night. I mean, you said it's only releasing tomorrow. We'll see then. So guys, this Bertrand here also gets a 5 out of 5. The damage mitigation alongside lots of damage and all the other effects he gives to the party really makes up for a character that may not be the best type of nuker, but makes squads work. We need this type of characters in the game right now that do more than one stuff. Even has morale down. 3 turns even. You will try on Steam tonight? Yeah, you can play on Steam, right? So maybe I'm gonna stream it if you guys wanna check. 9 PM my time? I can try to play. SOV is World of Convalaria. It's a game designed like Final Fantasy Tactics. The soundtrack's composed by the same guy. Been following Sword of Convalaria before Taiwan release. Yeah, I have been following since the first Reddit post that had the idea of the game. It was not even announced. I mean, it was, but only on Taiwan. And it looked like Tactics Ogre and people were hyping already. So this guy is pretty cool. Most people will want to get him as well. Now that he has better endurance and will, he's just not going to easily die. Have enough agility. His attacks are not fast though, right? Let me check here if it is like that. Yes, his attacks are not fast. Morale down's not fast. But he buffs agility as well when attacking and all, so... The art style got you interested? See, the art style reminds me a little bit of Hoshigami. There's also an official PC client. Yes. Separate from Steam. Ah, okay. Moving to Real Queen. Look what they did to her as well. She has the lowest endurance of all these units. 101%. Even lower than Joe now. But it's already good enough. We can make it work. 140% agility. A martial arts debuffer. It's probably the best type. 101% intelligence. Looks a little old, but okay. If it becomes like Octopath, champion of the continent, then I won't play long. I may play just for the fun of you guys, because there was a lot of doom posting on Reddit. People saying that the game's not doing well already. I played War of the Visions, and the gameplay loop of tactical games usually have problems. If I'm going to play Convalaria, I'll play fully free-to-play, and if I ever going to make videos, I'm going to make with generic characters even. But back to UniverSe. Her status seduction is pretty nice. She even has high charisma. It starts with 11 because of skill 3, of course, and then gives this Fear of Sacrifice. Turn begins... What? Only self-surviving? It means that if she's the only one surviving? What does that mean? Really? They created something like this? I don't remember this on JP. Ah! Because it's applying on the enemies. If you are the only enemy left, the following effects will be activated. Yes. They will self-debuff STR, Endurance, Dexterity, and Intelligence. And it says during. During should be 15%, right? Yeah. It's the way that I read it that made no much sense. And then defense down, maximum effect. From passives, maximum... What is maximum? 50%? Gonna get some food? Okay, Emerald Mera. We'll be here. War Division is good, but it's also harder for free to play because it really is more for the limited units and there are shards available only during the events. Limited time stuff. That's why if I'm playing Convalar, I'm gonna play with generic units. To all enemies, that says here. So they're going to lose 15% STR, Endurance, Dexterity, Intelligence, and also self-defense down. I don't know if this is 50%. It must be, because it's passive. It should be 40 maybe. And then it's strange that you apply this to all enemies, but it only starts triggering if you are the only one left. I have to get Real Queen. Her last style was very useful to me, so you own to her or invested. You are invested, but the inheritances don't really make sense. 50% Influx, thanks. Then when attack lands, there is Fear of Sacrifice. This is from her past style, no? 1 time, 3 turns to the target. And now we need to discuss what exactly is Fear of Sacrifice. It's not here. Let me go back here. Fear of Sacrifice. It's the same thing, it's the same effect. Yeah. So this one will be for the whole fight, triggering once. And when you attack with the right skills, you're gonna apply it for more. Attack lands, you're gonna apply another. For 3 turns. Oh yeah. Man. Attack lands. Fear of Sacrifice. That means that when you attack, you're gonna apply another effect of this. So another defense down. So that goes to another 50. And all offensive status down besides agility. For 30% then. And then more and more and more. S3 lands, Fear of Sacrifice 2 times. 3 turns. Oh my. You can get up to 3 effects of this then. Aka Kreslard says, if watching share does not make me pull Joe, I'm throwing my Hoshigami to the garbage. You are the one that also played Hoshigami, right? You are. It's the same debuff again. It stacks. Yes, it stacks. You're gonna get one from the permanent effect that is already applied on the enemy. And then you can apply to enemies as well. These other ones here do not do stack because it's 1 time. And then the other one, it's 2 times. So you want to use skill 3, actually, because that gives you 2 times effects. Before attack, if the target has Endurance debuff, you then debuff STR Intelligence by 20% and then apply another defense down. For 1 turn. The defense down is just 1 turn, okay. This skill is fast, she has 140% agility, so pretty good way to debuff the enemy STR Intelligence even further. So she's more of an STR and Intelligence debuffer, but by using lots of Fear of Sacrifice, you can debuff Dexterity as well. But she's a single target type of debuff. Every time that she attacks, she chases with Hell Scratch. Hell Scratch. What is Hell Scratch? This is skill. The one that she uses on Overdrive in her past style, right? 3 to 5 hits with attack boost and recover HP. And not gonna die. 4 times if you use her skill 3 twice in a row. Yeah, as much as 4 times. A little less realistic, but possible as well. And that will lead to 60% debuff, right? 45% seems a little more easy to have. You can get S3 lens. Yeah. Any attack will land a Fear of Sacrifice. S3 gives 2 times. If you don't have BP to use S3 again, then you're still gonna have 3 times. Even if you use skill 1. Right? Or am I reading wrong? It triggers on her chase too. It triggers on her chase too? Oh gosh. Unlike Bertrand, that does not trigger stuff on his chase, right? It's sometimes hard to understand this triggers on chase or not. Yeah. On attack hit. Grants Fear of Sacrifice. She's the best debuffer for single target. You can even see that she also debuffs SGR and intelligence by largest 15% on this type of effect, no? On start. Yeah, 15%. She can reach as much as 75% intelligence and SGR debuff. If it's just one enemy. Also, the morale down turn begins. It's super cool. Before the enemy may attack. We triggered off the chase 2, so S3 2 turns in a row, it's 9 stacks. No. Max is 1 permanent, 2 from the attack, and 2 from the S3 try, so 5 stacks. Yeah, up to 75. 75% debuff. Actually 6 theoretically, because you still get another 15% from SGR and intelligence. But we are talking about the 4 effects, right? So 75 or then 90% for SGR and intelligence. Is that right? 2 stacks for 3 turns, it says, not counting landing attacks. Yeah, I don't fully understand when it says 2 stacks. I feel like it's 2 stacks, but it only triggers once per turn, you know? That's why I said that she can cycle S3 and S1. Am I getting this right? It's also blunt and slash, man. Well, this chase already feels cool enough. 3 hits and has some attack boosts. She doesn't have too many damage increase, but doesn't really matter. It's still gonna do some damage. Not a nuker, of course, but as a debuffer, more than enough. 1 instance that would trigger twice. Ah, okay. Because we had stuff in the past that was like this, or like the example I gave you. The example I gave you, it's more like Pale Nymph, right? So the enemy won't do damage, but they will start probably creating bosses that check debuffs in the middle of the fight, because that's how they do. But all old content will be easily beatable. 7 heroes will become a joke. I don't know if they will still, if she still works on newest, exclamation point boss, the new special 7 heroes fight. I don't know if she works there, but, you know, if if the enemy does not use the 5 weakness mid turns, then it's gonna suffer on the hands of Real Queen. The 5 weakness about to pop off. Yeah, it's probably gonna happen more and more often in the mid of the attack, like the Megalith Dragon does. In some turns, just go. It does work. I said I don't know because I don't know if it has the 5 weakness mid turns, because the 5 weakness mid turns breaks her. And of course they are going to do that. Platinum banner. Diamond. No, Gold Plus is the maximum. There was a time where we had a banner that I said Platinum, something like that, but it was more of a joke. She still has an AoE intelligence debuff. So when you use AoE, you're going to apply the effects for AoE as well, right? But a lot of her mechanics are about using skill 3, not skill 2. What is Mighty Water? %20 damage increase. Reduces damage taken by 30. And 40 when resisting. Ah, okay. That's cool. It's like a mix of normal damage reductions with intrinsic, right? So yeah, another 5 out of 5. What can I say? She's on. She breaks through Ocelus mechanic. She's better than Ocelus. With Ocelus having still the way to do buff break. J-Mew can also buff break, so he still competes. But they are all on top now. Poe is also on top. Those are the 4 best debuffers in the game right now. It's what the Firebringer had. What do you mean? The Fire Weakness in mid-turn? I think he had as well. But not always. Automatic Immortality Dom is nice, yes. And even this STR Intelligence debuff on start, right? Unless the enemy has that, of course, debuff cleans on turn starts. I don't know which one will trigger first, but probably the enemy will trigger later to remove. It does not work for 7 heroes. The debuffs happen before they cleanse at the start of turn, like Summer Roulette. Ah, you're gonna lose this part, right? But using a fast skill still helps, right? The other part works. Mighty Water is what Firebringer had, is what you mean. Ah, Firebringer had Mighty Water. I bet, I don't remember. Exactly. It's a good defensive skill. So this banner is a good plus. All units have 5. It's a worth PT for any of them. So if you're gonna pull, you can choose the third one. Highly recommended banner, because we will recommend to skip the next one, of course. Summer is not hot enough for them. They wanted to dry our gens. Yeah. Releasing this banner in this order that they did was pretty smart of them. They made people pull for... Who were then again? What was the order here? People wanted to pull every time. We had protags, people wanted, but these banners had a lower effect, a lower impact. But of course, Liz and Madeline were so cool to skip. All the other ones I didn't care about. But then they released 7 heroes that everyone wanted to pull as well. And now another banner that everyone wants to pull as well. It's May again. Remember May when we had banners like Emperor and Empress, then Ocelus. Only good banners. Matriarch. Man, it was harsh. It was totally harsh. It was May. It was end of April. Start of May. You also had Under Kihachi and all those things. It was hard, man. It was hard. We had Liz Polka and 7 heroes, then my boy Myron, and now both of the remaining SaGa stage banners. Did you pull for Myron? John, welcome. Is Madeline worth chasing, sure? Oh my gosh, it's hard to say that. If you pull it on the 7 heroes banner and you got Rock, I would suggest you just keep Madeline. She enables a lot more damage for Kihachi. It's for Kihachi Memetin. I will not say that she's just dead because she still has defense boost, but she's even easier to use than Rock for Madeline teams. For Kihachi teams. You got Myron, then Peachy, then Tar, got alt 7. That's crazy. You got Rock. John, if you don't have enough gens and if you're going to pull for Joe, I suggest you just keep Madeline then. Because, well, have to make decisions. Let me just go to the bathroom, guys. I need to. Back, you're just getting lots of busted banners soon. Joe, Gustavo right after, probably. And then 2 more weeks after that is Emerald Beyond. 2 weeks? Maybe 3. Depends, they're probably going to shorten it. I'm sure. But they are still allowing us to pull a lot. I mean, we are getting lots of gens. Polo Marker says, upcoming Gustav banner also looking rich. Nice. He recommends a lot of BP and all elements protection. Yes. He recovers a lot of BP. Ah. You're right. Now, guys, let's move into the Igomahl banner. The banner that we should recommend to skip unless you are a collector or are a fan of the characters, because it is hard from now on to keep up with the meta because they keep releasing good styles everywhere. We cannot skip all the mini banners. You can, but you will not be able to beat day 1 content. That's how they are developing the game. You should skip some banners that may not have so much utility if you don't mind about day 1 clear. So Igomahl has 115 endurance in wheel, 133% intelligence, lower than Joe. But she has high charisma. Turn begins, she applies action order up and then taunt. Applies stealth to others. It's the same type of taunt as Final Emperor and even Vagnus. When she's attacked, she gets Revenge of the Claw 50% of the time. This lasts for 5 turns. This is just like Faye, right? Revenge of the Claw is... what is it? Ah, X and Ritus. I have to check JP, it's a little easier to comprehend. Because it may show the damage. Let me see. Look, says expect SaGa Emerald Beyond banners in September too. September? August, September. Makes sense. Juice Mango. Ego skip? Ego or Igo? I never know. Igomahl skipped. That's the name of the banner. Your Madeline is fire. It is Gentar Jolos, but in his case, he may actually have to spend way too much to get. Day 1 clears our dream now with the difficulty. Yeah, all type of content will be like that. It looks like depends on the name of the boss, like Mighty Foe. When they say Mighty Foe, it is usually way too hard. Super Mighty Foe. If they say Super Mighty Foe, it's probably not made to be clear day 1. But the others are usually made to clear. Look. Battle with Real Queen Vino doesn't have that information. All the other bosses that were hard also had this death match in the name. So special, very special bosses. Usually every 3 months or stuff like that. Unless they shorten the gap. Am I the only one who tried to have Igomahl? It's luck. You're not the only one, I'm sure. What about you, New Flux? Okay, I wanted to check Revenge of the Claw. I'm attacking on Overdrive, X and Ritus. That is a B-Power AoE attack that can debuff Intelligence and Will. AoE! Oh, probably for Spiral, I suppose. But also for, I don't know, Remembrance like we need. Okay, that is a B-Power AoE attack that can debuff. Being directly attacked, damage taken decreases, and she also counters. Ah, so she's a counter and revenge counter. Standard and revenge. But being attacked, it doesn't matter if it's direct or indirect. Things like that as well, right? But it's a 50% chance, not a guarantee. On Overdrive, she will use all of the attacks she charged. And then, always counters direct attacks with skill 2. Skill 2, it's B. Is it AoE or not? Is it the same as X and Ritus or not? Trick Box. Ah, Trick Box. Buff and debuff. That's good because she can buff and debuff when countering. Turn ends, revive if undead. Okay. 5 EP per turn, defense boost of 15%. And defense up 5% to all allies. Our wall defense, turn begins block 1 hit, and buff endurance will enlarge to self. Okay, so the problem with this character is more about having to counter to actually provide party support beyond the defense up and defense boost. Everything else is about self. I feel like that's the reason why she does not make a big impact. All the other units here are just so crazy that they offer a lot to the party. Like the morale down being 25% already beats all those 3 effects from Igomahl. He beats the defense boost plus 3 defense ups. It's very similar because it's 25. Here it's 15% and then 3 stacks of 5. And I still don't know if morale up is better than, you know, multiple defense boosts anyway. And of course, Bertrand does a lot more than that. But he's not a counter unit. She's a counter unit. She's a decent counter unit, but she does not really have ramp. Yeah, damage is really lacking here. B power counter and then B power AoE. Not really that strong. Indeed, especially with Wagner's just being released. Attack lands, chance to instant kill and recover HP by a lot. Skill 3 fast, applies morale down. Ah, she still has morale down, nice. Guard up large but to self. Okay. This makes it even better. So she's more of a support that can counter than a real counter. But the extra Revenge of the Cloud that you may get can also help with damage. He does not chase when attacking. I don't know, if you got Wagner's, you really don't need this character. Especially if you're going to pull for Joe's banner, you will already cover up what you have here as well. She can reduce allies damage too. Yeah, that's what I said. Defense boost and defense up. Already clashes somewhat with what you already get with Bertrand via the morale down. But Bertrand gives you 10 stacks of defense up. If you wanna counter, you usually want damage. You want to finish an enemy with damage. Igomahl will take a lot of time to do this. Look, once you get Joe and then Queen and Igomahl. Your dream. Hey, permanent ban. Poop. Counter tank and boss debuffer. Yeah. Her debuffs will work when she counters because skill 2 attack lands, debuff and buffs. Okay. That's probably the same attack as the overdrive. X and Ritus. They translated a different name. Much like her past version when she got released, I didn't really believe in the character. I would say that it works, but I also don't believe in this character. When I want counter, I want damage. She won't debuff as much. If you already got real Queen from Joe Banner, you also cover a debuffer. She also morale downs. The good thing is that she has them first morale down large, right? It should be 35%. Crazy. And it's a fast skill even. Not saying she's bad. But I feel like she's more of a 4.5. It's the first time we get morale down large. We don't have large effect for this. I think I checked that she was the first one. She needs a decent own attack trigger since she has so many attacks. Yeah, she doesn't have anything that triggers when she attacks. Yeah, I don't know. It's more interesting that she can give you defense boosts and the morale down for a tank character. That's why they had to decrease her damage output, because else it would be broken. You feel like it's a 3.5 out of 5 for general use, but what is general use these days? We grind with, I don't know, so many different characters that it's not even worth mentioning anymore. In hard challenges, really what you're gonna use this type of characters. Poor BP recovery. She has 5 in a cycle of 5, 10 to 0. Her attack is fast, so the morale down doesn't need to be used every turn. You can theoretically just use The best cycle would be skill 3 and then skill 1. But then she's not really all much of a reliable debuffer. She's not a reliable debuffer. She's not a strong counter, but she offers support in the mid-range. Yeah, really not a must-have or a must-pull. A 4 is a hike for her. What would you say? While I read the feedback, I'm gonna check the next one, Barthélemy. Look at what they did to Barthélemy. 76% hindrance. What is that? 100? 110? Flash of Inspiration Intelligence would have been awesome. Flash of Inspiration is what Kazinski has? I don't remember. They buffed his intelligence. Still not top. They did this to make him better. He feels Overdrive Gorge now. On start, like his past version. Starts with 11 and overhands, increasing overdrive damage by 50%. Round begins, Cunning Circles. When attacking, apply defense boost to self. This is for 10 turns. Being attacked, attack boost, and fast stance to self. When you are attacking, 10% defense attack boost. When being attacked, attack boost 15%. But the defense boost is to self only. Fast stance to self, 4G attack, plus 3 BP to all allies. Turn ends, 4G gauge increases by 15. And a chance to have fast stance again. So what does he get from having fast? Attack and damage increases, weak attack damage increases, turn ends 3 times 5 VP. Hit down small. Hit down small, why? Mimi. You like Bart and Ludwig buffs? Fast in fast stance? What does that mean? If you are in a fast stance, everything becomes fast. Before attacking, cunning circles for 1 turn to all allies. You are down very large. What is very large? 30. Defense down to the target. Oh, he's an overdrive damage enabler. Competitor to silence. But he does not fully charge the gauge easily as silence does. It's fast outside the fast stance. You only get the extra effects in fast stance. Like Monica. If you are in fast stance, then you apply the cunning circles. But let me check JP for cunning circles. He doesn't have any limit. He says when attacking, grants self-defense boost. But there's no limit. Like cards like Leon and others will actually trigger many times. It's kinda like Noel. The defense down is for 5 turns. 5 turns. His problem is not charging gauges, giving only 15 points. Should have been at least 25, and even then. Competing with silences. And silence is niche. Bar to be good, but the 10 turn limit really makes him a lot less useful. But would you really need to use more than 10 turns for Barthélemy? He keeps giving another one of these tricky circles, no? Is that new? Yes, this is new. New. Applying 1 turn means that some turns you have double the effects. If you can keep up this 9 BP cycle all the time, He's going to get 5 extra for 3 turns, but he's just 3 BP per turn unless he attacks on overdrive. Oh, that's also bad. S3 only lasts 1 turn. Indeed. What about his agility? 101. So he has to go first. I know that the skill itself is fast, but so many characters have fast skills these days. You're gonna double the effect of cutting circles, and then yeah. Yeah, every time that I see these effects that last for 10 turns, I know that someone will come later and we will remove the time limit and be better. Like Urpina, remember? Urpina plus Kihachi squads. It works kind of like everyone becomes Julian. The defense boost part of Julian, yes. That makes no sense other than it always being fast. Yeah. It is fast otherwise. But if you are in a fast stance, then you get the other effects. Indeed. Do they want you to inherit his last OG charge skill? A lot of bosses want you to kill them by turn 10. You are right. S3 only lasts 1 turn. Sorry, Bart, need to skip you. Even for Megaliths, S's words cannot kill in 10 turns. Maybe in the future, right? But it's just a big problem here. I don't think he offers enough. Like, Silence can keep running what he wants to run. He seems to be a little better in some stuff than Silence, but a little worse in others. When he does not have the full charge, he gives 25 points for people on the overdying turn. This buff should have been for every single one of them separately. Well, he doesn't really beat Silence fully, but he gives more defense boosts. You are better protected with Barthélemy than with Silence. But that doesn't make Barthélemy better debuffing the enemy. I think the cutting circles can be really powerful if the boss attacks a bunch. Because the being attacked part gives you an attack boost, right? So we skip this banner is totally skippable. We should skip. But it's another mid of the road stuff. Something that is more in line to what we have been getting, like Silence, than to the new meta. That is Joe, Bart, Bertrand, and Rio Queen. Doesn't his fast stance override 100 delay stance? It should. It should override. I believe. Would that be useful for you? Offensive and defensive 6 means 30% damage reduction or 40. 30. 40% damage potential. Yeah. I just feel like he looks like a current unit and a future unit. And Joe, Bertrand, and Rio Queen looks like future units. I would say that he doesn't need more than a 4 as well, but maybe even a 2.5. Silence didn't get a very good grade because he's also niche. What would you guys say? And then the last one is Ludwig. This guy have now 115% endurance and will, 133% intelligence. Is he just shadow based? No, he still has one sword skill. Very bad to be hybrid these days because you have to sacrifice to have both dexterity, agility, SGR, intelligence. Whoa. 3 or 3.5. Yeah. Feel like a 4 is, yeah, 3.5 makes more sense. I don't know too much about Eagle. Is Eagle a 4? I feel like she may be a 4. She's better. Now Ludwig does what? Starts with 13, then Pride of Honor. 12 allies. Pride of Honor has, if you don't have any love or charisma buff, attack damage increases by 50%. Damage taken decreases by 40. 40. They get 10% HP recoil. Attack lands. 1 BP to all allies? Attack lands, activates Dark Sword. So he gives 2 BP to everyone every turn at least? Does he have an overdrive attack? No. Turn begins. ScherBR intelligence buffs and heat ups. Attack damage increases 30. Spell attack damage increases 30. Damage taken decreases by 32. Medium chance to block. Battle begins on LP and -1. Attack lands ScherBR buff free, almost free. Before attacking, double S power attack. What? Double S power attack with 7 BP that gives 30% HP required but no extra effects? What is he even doing with his skill 2? Is there any secret here? Or is he just playing bad? It is just plain bad. Ridiculous. No one will ever use this. Ah, because it's row for... Ah, okay, row. But still, man, no one's gonna use this. Like, Madeline has a 9 PP attack, right? Is it 9 or 8? And she attacks 2 times with C power. 8. 8. 2 times with C power. It's already stronger than what you're doing, you're dumb. 2 times C power is stronger than triple S attacks. He's farming. Farming what? Like I said, there are multiple characters that farm. Ludwig's the worst, yeah. Ludwig is yuck. If you thought Minstrel was bad. Minstrel can play for the party sometimes. Skill 3. A power AoE. Before attacking, buff breaks everyone besides self. Oh, okay. Attack lands, debuffs 30% to the target. 13 BP. He's a 5 BP per turn character. Oh, ew. I would prefer to use Kazinci. His chase is AoE? Ah, yeah, let me check what is Dark Sword. I didn't know it was AoE. B. Oh, yeah. 2 times B power with Shadow Slash? Really strong. It is strong to also use it on fights where there are multiple enemies and we need to do it super fast. Ah, that makes a little more sense to use skill. So actually he's going to give 3 BP. No, 3 BP. Is it 2 hits? Attack all enemies 2 times. Is he going to give 3 BP per turn? Yeah, because this is better. Because that attack, I don't know if that attack triggers 2 effects. I don't think it does. S3 is purely for farming. Indeed. And farming roll, it's too specific. Unfortunately, clashes with all status. Dark Sword counts as 1. Ah. Well, he at least gives 2 BP to everyone. His buffs were nice. Still don't make me want to pull him. Really, this guy is yet another example of this character looking more like a recent character than a future one. So, Ludwig, really strange. This mechanic of having to not have love and charisma buffs to decrease damage by 40, not that important. His damage is not that great. Unless it's AoE. For AoE, yes, I agree. He has BP problems. So debuff what you want. Kazinci debuffs better. Does better. Well, most people who have Kazinci, I had to drop the guy because he didn't appear in my summons. This guy is what, a 3? Doesn't he have a skill that attacks twice that would trigger more BP? Oh, no, pretinha. Ludwig, I think he does. Yeah, if you use Victim's Word, it's gonna give 3 BP to everyone. But why? You would not do any type of damage in this way. You're better off just bringing, I don't know, RG for more BP. Oh my. I feel like the only good thing about him is that 2-hit B power AoE attack. 3.5 is a stronger farmer. But farmer, man. Most characters can farm these days. Look at his other style, the other style. What do you think? Dark Violet Slash? No, 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 pretinha. The one that then activates Flash of Death? This will give him more damage because of the morale up. Dark Violet. Wait, what? Ah, Dark Violet Slash. Yeah. Very large will improve the damage of his chase attacks as well. And even from Flash of Death. At least it does not hurt the allies. With this one, he's going to give 3 BP to everyone, including himself, making him a 6 BP per turn. That is still not enough. You're gonna have to forget about the debuffing part. Use him as a replacement to Leon. 3.5 is okay then. He blocks love and charisma buffs though. At 3.5 seems okay to me. 3.5 for both Barthélemy and Ludwig, and a 4 for Igomahl. 3. Yeah, we have to consider that we will analyze him without the inheritance. 2 or 3 BP to everyone every turn is a really strong effect. Giving him 3 is too low. Yeah, but to get 3 BP you need inheritance. 3.5 too. What do you think? Barthélemy at 3.5 as well? Too specific. And Igomahl 4. None of them come close to any of the other characters though. Yeah, makes sense for me, Slug. Think we... What do you think, Neoflux? Doug, WP, Pika for you, Chaos Piper, Mumu, Tamer. With Inherited, he might be at 3.5, but doubt most people will have older Ludwig styles. Still 2 BP per turn is what Leon does give. No, he gives 3 if you use skill 3 every turn. Leon gives 30% damage reduction. He does have heal. He buffs people. Can't even compare. I'm gonna give it more than a 3. I have no love for Ludwig, much like Ludwig. No love and charisma even. He is stealing your love and charisma. Bart's too specific for a 4 in some situation, why not? A 3 out of 5 then for Ludwig. What about the other grades, Neoflux? Do you agree? What about you, Doug? Say no more. All Joe Banner is 5. But this one here, no. A 4, a 3.5, and I don't know what. Use Piper is 3.5. 3.5 for Igo. 3 to the other 2. Whoa! But there's 0.5 worth of widget room all around. Just so long as they are all under 4 point. Yeah, none of them deserve more than that. I use my death style over this Ludwig. Igo and Bar 3.5, Lud 3. Even Igomahl less than 4. Because of what? Damage, right? When you use taunters, we want damage from them. You see where the game has gone, right? At the start of the game, a taunter will only protect. Now, a taunter have to protect and counter or revenge. People will not try to pull for him. You are right. No one's gonna pull for this banner. So, silver award or silver mines? It's just slightly better than the SaGa Soul banner. No, not slightly. It's still much better. That SaGa Soul banner was bait. It's an Igo stand here. While counter is it to basically invalidate fights early on. Indeed. Yeah, I think that's about the same for you, Doug. I like Igo and Bart enough, but I do not see them being widely usable. Unless folks know exactly what they want. Yeah, specific partners in the party as well. So many fights Arpina could solo. Yeah, now you cannot solo it on Igomahl of sorts. All the damage is on the other banner. Igo, Bart, Ludwig. Yeah, this sequence, Emperor is still way better as a way better. Wagner is the only real competitor now for Emperor, right? It's another banner that's good for remembrance, but that's the problem. Knowing of future banners will still be much better. You're right, because he's need help. What help you need? You planning to pull Luddy? Pika, if you don't have gens, don't pull. Or if you don't want to spend, it's a good time to skip. Silver minus seems fine. Wait, is the SaGa Soul banner even effective as a bait when it was released on the same time as 7 here? Bait for the limited SaGa fans. Better to pull for Joe if you have limited diamond. Yes. Just Joe. Don't pull and release Elise Pika because Gustav banner may be next. If it is, you are much better off investing your gens for Gustav. Better pull for Joe banner if you have. It was bait mode. Yes, banners that are left for collectors and fans. So I guess that's it, friends. Joe banner is meta. 3 styles with 5 out of 5 grades because they are really broken. They bring new stuff here. All of them. All 3 characters are meta. A big change in the meta as well. People will be able to clear 7 heroes and also be able to clear other challenges. I don't know if they will be able to clear exclamation point yet. I don't think so. But all content can be beaten by these 3 characters. If you bring those 3 characters and someone else's, they will make all content a joke. So a Gold Plus award. Then Bertrand, Real Queen, and Igomahl, silver minus. And recommendation to skip unless you're a fan. I won't be recommending to pull for tanking or for overdriving or for whatever the case. Don't pull here. Unless you're a fan. If you're a fan, you are not caring about reviews anyway. I think Igomahl banner has good things for some people that might be missing, but not recommended. It's the thing, like, how can you say to pull for an inferior tank? Like New Flux said, best tank is Emperor. Well, sometimes Wagner is better than Emperor. Depends. So I can tell you to summon for Wagner if you didn't pull for Emperor, but I cannot say to pull for Igo if you don't have Wagner's or Emperor. When you get to a point where you need a counter, and if you already have at least one of those 2, you're gonna use them. And if you don't get this one, go after a stronger one or a equal one or close. Going for inferior versions don't help. You should skip. Instructions unclear. Will pull pity Ludwig. No, you Flex, don't do that to yourself. Imagine if the game gives you bad RNG. You're gonna get angry. Just wish I have gotten more than 1 style from round 1 banners before the end. So were you unlucky? When characters are being released without the new power creep, it will be super easy to skip them. I cannot see myself using any of these characters in my current setup. Imagine. Interesting discussion. Of course, my friends, I will be finishing this stream pretty soon. Let me see how many likes we have. I will be making a video talking about the future remembrance fight first before I do the news video. News video will be more for the nighttime. I have to make the new remembrance video in the next hour to release it as soon as possible, and then around reset time I will release the news video. That will be a short description of these banners, explaining how they work. It will be still be a lot of work because it's super hard to explain how these characters work, my friends. Making reviews are getting intense, but at least I made a 7 Heroes banner before this one started, and I hope you guys can watch that one. It's a 1 hour video. If you're not doing anything, click that video, let it run on the background for 1 hour to help the channel. It will be amazing. 32 likes is a very good number, guys. I just want to thank you for helping out. And if you want to support the channel, click the link in the description. But anyway, I just want to thank you for being here. And tomorrow will be live. I'll try to stream Sword of Kundalaria around reset time after I post the news video, if you want to check that out as well. We'll be playing for fun, and if I decide to make videos about it, it will be in a different channel. Like I said, this is full SaGa experience, and I would never stop doing this unless the game dies, okay? So, yeah. Oh, Pretinha is back again. Let's just say goodbye, right, Pretinha? Don't scratch me. Leave. Right? Help Pretinha with some rage. Pretinha will come soon as a SaGa Emerald Beyond banner. She's Lolo, and she's a big time support. You came to give me BP? Yeah, because Lolo gives BP, gives attack, defense boost, and all. Goodbye, Doug. Good luck to all pullers, right? Thanks, Deno. I'm already watching the 7 Heroes video. It's huge! Yeah, it took me 2 days to make that video. All the RC 60 pulls on Liz banners and only Madeline. Well, at least you got Madeline. Liz will be replaced in the future. Goodbye. Should still very worth without Flame Force. Yeah, without Flame Force, still worth. You soon, friends. Goodbye. Oh yeah, Grapher Lock was asking if you should be pulling Joe even without Flame Force. Yes, you should. And you'll eventually be able to get that style, I'm sure.